Good morning. This is the reflection for the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The Gospel is Matthew chapter 10, verses 26 to 33. And my ruminations on this Gospel have given me 3 ideas to share. They are, first, the greatness of the divine. Second, the greatness of each of us. And the third, do not fear. These 3 are the strength that Matthew sees are what Jesus imparted to the disciples as they began their ministry. They are the strength we must have as we follow Jesus. I begin with the greatness of the divine. If God knows the numbers of hair on my head, God must know the number of a lot of things. The number of needles on the pine trees, the wood chips on the path, the number of everything. As Christians, we need to bask in the wonder of the mystery of the divine. We see God's glory in all of creation, and what has been done before us, and in what that is and will be. I am in awe as I get a glimpse of the evolution of this planet, especially the growth of life and the coming into greater being of us humans. We have developing brains, we have growing hearts. As our minds expand, we grasp more and more the divinity. If God knows the number of all things, then God must know about all things. God must pay attention to other quite unimportant parts of creation. But God is love. If love pays attention to the hair on my head, then God must love me. Jesus was telling his disciples how important they are to God. If sparrows, who are the least of birds, the most common ones, always hanging around, hiding from the bigger, more dashing birds, are noticed by God, then we, who are much more noticeable than sparrows, are surely seen by the divine. We are loved by God. We are in God's love. We are part of God's evolving love. As far as we know, we are the peak of creation, just under the angels. We are wonderful. If we are wonderful, we fearlessly share our godness, our goodness. We honor the goodness of other persons. We encourage them to let their goodness, their godness shine forth. Not just their grand talents or our grand talents, but the little gifts we have to give, to share. A smile, a good morning, maybe a story, an insight. We live without fear because we see the divine in each other. Jesus' disciples were encouraged to not be afraid to share his message. They relied on the goodness of others, of their Jewish neighbors, their pagan neighbors, to hear and accept the message of love, and then to act because of this message of love. Is what community is all about? Living without fear, sharing our goodness, our godness with one another and with all persons we meet, and hoping, expecting others to respond with their godness.